Hey guys, welcome to another video of mine. And if you're new to this channel, my name is Anthony. I'm just barely starting off, so be patient with me, but I'll get better as it goes. So today I'm gonna do a video about something that a lot of people have asked me to talk about. So today's video is going to be my coming out story. Obviously I'm gay. A lot of people think it's pretty obvious. To me, I don't really think that it's that obvious. It's a pretty long story, so while I sit here and talk about it, I didn't want to bore you guys, so I thought of an idea. Why not do a coming out story / mukbang? And there's nothing else better than donuts. So I'm gonna be talking about my story while eating donuts. Okay, it's a pretty long story, so I'll be eating donuts as I go. We'll start off with this donut. Pink Box is in Vegas. It's supposed to be very good, so we'll see. I've never tried their donuts actually, so this is both new to me and you. They're known to make different types of donuts, and this one has I forgot the cereal name. Is it Fruit Loops? I think so. Let's try this out. Tastes like a donut, but with cereal. Anyways, it's a long story, so let's cut to the chase. A lot of people ask, when did I know I was gay? Well, I think when you're young, you just know you're different. Like, it's hard to explain. I just don't know. Like, I don't know how to explain it. You just know you're different. I'm not saying that every gay guy doesn't like sports and all that, because you know what, there's different kinds of people. But me personally, I was never into sports. I was never into, like, you know, I was always into like dressing the nicest and looking the nicest. I cared about my looks, my fashion. I wasn't really interested in like football, soccer, basketball. I was never really a fan of those things. And that's not necessarily like to every gay person. I'm sure there's plenty of gay people who love football, soccer, basketball. It's just majority of gay people are into other stuff. So I knew when I was like young, pretty young. When I was in elementary school, I'd get bullied. I'd get called gay. A lot of people would ask me when I was like in elementary, are you gay? And I would always be the one to deny it or just ignore it. It would be a daily thing. I mean, if not daily, like weekly, someone would ask like, are you gay? Are you gay? Blah, blah, blah. So it was very like annoying, because to me, like, even if I was, like, what does it matter to them? But the kids would just ask and ask and ask, and I would just deny it. I was too scared, because coming out is like a huge part of your life, and like it's a huge event, you know, to finally express who you are and to finally be who you have always like hid yourself from. Throughout elementary, there was times where I've cried, and like I would ask myself like, why am I so different? Why am I different? Like, I was like young, I didn't know. I just knew that I was different. Actually, there is a time where I realized I was gay, and I think it was in 2nd grade. I had a teacher, and his name was Mr. Stratton. Before I talk about that, let's try another donut. This is a red velvet. This looks good. That's way better than the other one. Look at that. Anyways, yeah, second grade, I was attracted to my second grade teacher. Mr. Stratton was his name. I remember I would always like ask for help in his class. I would always like try to get his attention, and he was very nice, and obviously he wasn't gay, and obviously he had no interest in me, but I always tried to get his attention and all that. I just wanted to be his favorite student, I guess you can say. So it wasn't until then where I kind of knew it was like, okay, like boys are attractive to me. Like, so during that time I was kind of figuring myself out. And it wasn't until I dated a girl back in 7th grade, thinking, like, hoping that I would not be gay, because you know, who wants to be gay? So obviously I tried it out. Shoot. Donut stain. Anyways, I tried it out, didn't like it. I dated her for a few months, broke up with her. Freshman year, you know, I just got really tired of it. That's so good. Ooh, let's try this one. This is s'mores. This has to be good. Let's try it. This is pretty good. Guys, I love donuts. Like, if you don't love donuts, you're crazy. White filling. Gotta have your water. Too much sweetness going on around. I completely forgot to bring napkins. I'm screwed. Anyways, it wasn't until high school, freshman year, I got fed up with not being who I really was, and I got the courage to finally come out. I came out to my mom and my family first before I came out to the public. And even when I was growing up, like, my mom and my dad, like, I don't know if they thought I was gay or not, but my dad would always joke about like getting girls and blah blah blah, and me going into high school, like, and to use like protection and all that. And it just felt very awkward to me when that got brought up, because in the back of my head I wanted to tell them that I was gay, that's not what I liked, but I didn't want them to think differently of me, or I was just scared. It was at my old house. It was like in the middle of the night. Everyone was sleeping. It was just me and my mom, and I was in the living room. She came out, and I was really nervous, and I told her, "Mom, I need to talk to you. There's something I need to tell you." She got kind of nervous as well. Like, she was getting worried. She was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" And when I told my mom, literally, like, my heart sunk. Like, coming out is like very, very, it's very nerve-wracking. And I remember me telling her, "Mom, I'm gay." And she was in shock, and I repeated it to her, and she was in shock. She told me that she will always love me for who I am, and that I have nothing to be ashamed of, and that, like, she'll always love me, and like, this doesn't change anything. Just everything that you could hope for when you come out is exactly what she did. My mom is like the most caring person. I love her so much. I don't know what I would do without her. She took it very, very good, and I am very blessed to have a mom who can actually say sincerely that she loves me for who I am. So I finally came out to my mom, and I told my mom I want to tell the rest of my family, like, I don't want to be hiding anymore. The next day, I actually wanted to come out to the rest of my family, my 2 older sisters, my younger brother, and my dad. But before I tell that story, I'm gonna go into another one. This is a donut Fruity Pebbles, I think is what the cereal is, but let's try it. This is really good. These donuts are all good. Like, seriously. That is seriously so good. Anyways, break's over. So that next day, I told myself that I was gonna tell my dad, my sisters, and my brother. So it was around nighttime, almost like bedtime. I was in my sister's room and I told her that I needed to talk to them. And my mom came in. She was just next to me by my side. And my brother was there too. I said, I have to tell you guys something. And they were like, what? And I told them, I'm gay. And actually, funny thing is my sisters, they both laughed and they were like, oh, I already knew, blah, blah. And I actually was laughing when I told them because, you know, I was so relieved that like they supported me. They told me that like they still love me and that they actually like knew all along. Like, I don't know. I just felt relief. And all I needed to tell was my dad, right? If you see my dad, like he is literally a scary looking man. Like, oh my god, there's like a kid right here. By the way, I'm at the park, guys. If you're asking why I'm in my car and doing another mukbang, the reason is because my house is very, very crowded right now. So I can't film in my house. But that's okay. This is like my sanctuary, you know, my go-to place. So we're good. Anyways, he left. So all I needed was to tell was my dad. And my whole family was there in the room, and we were just waiting for my dad. I think he was like in the restroom or something. He was gone. I was so nervous. My heart was beating. I was like, I don't know how to tell him. And my mom was like just trying to relax me, saying like everything's gonna be okay. I was super duper scared because, especially coming from my dad, if I post a picture, it'll be right here or right here, wherever. But just so you guys could see how my dad looks, he's a very scary man. If you know him, you know he's scary. So I called my dad over to the room and my whole family was there. And I told him, like, I need to talk to you. My dad, being the way he is, like, he's very manly. He gives that tough love. He was saying, like, what the fuck's going on? He wanted to know because everyone was being so shady. I was so nervous. My heart was beating. And then I just came out and said it. This is, like, kind of like a sad part. And I wish that any of you who do come out in the future, I hope that this reaction that you get from your dad or your mom, like, I hope this never happens to anyone. Just the fact that it brought me down so much. You don't even know, like, coming from your own dad saying he didn't raise his son to be like this, he didn't accept it, and he was calling me gay, he was calling me a homo, he was just not accepting to it. And my dad was just like very unaccepting about it. I was crying, my mom was crying, even my little brother was crying, and he was telling my dad, you should love your kid for who they are. After that, we didn't talk for about, literally, I kid you not, like almost a month. Like, we lived together, right? But I was in school and all that, and so I wouldn't really see him, and he works night shifts, so I wouldn't see him in the night either. For like a month straight, like, he wouldn't like talk to me, we didn't like say a word to each other. It was just very sad. He like basically cut me off, and I just had to accept it because even my mom, she was telling me, she was just like, just give him space, like, he'll come around. And I didn't believe it. It was small talk at first until like a month after. He ended up like talking to me, but like just small talk, like, are you hungry, do you want something to eat, there's food on the counter, blah blah, but not really anything like too serious. After I came out to my dad, I was on a roll. Like, this was like my mentality. Like, my mentality was like, might as well just come out to everyone else, like to the public, like people who I really don't care about, or people who I care about, friends. other family member. I just wanted to be public and be who I was. Finally, I came out on Facebook. So after I told my family, I came out to Facebook and I wrote a post, a really long paragraph, and everyone was so supporting. And I live in a pretty small town, so you know, word got around quick. A few days later at school, people like were coming up to me and saying like they were proud of me, and some people would just give me stares. And I'm pretty sure I was the talk of the town, because in a small town where there's nothing really else to talk about, I'm sure that I was the talk of the town, but I really didn't care. I just wanted to be myself and finally free, and to be who I actually came on this earth to be. So we'll stop the story while we try another donut. I think these are the same. I mean, obviously, you know, they're just different colors, I'm guessing. Yeah, they're the same. I'm pretty sure this was the same too. Let's try it. Guys, donuts are so good. Oh, this one's different. It's because it has caramel. Is it caramel or caramel? I say caramel, but I know people say who say caramel. So, which one is it? Comment below. Anyways, so after I became public, I actually, like, not to be cocky or anything, but I actually gained a lot of like girlfriends. I think it was just like the fact that like they knew that I wouldn't hit up on them or anything like that. I don't know exactly what it was, but I don't know if like the girls just wanted to have like a gay best friend or whatever. After I came out, so much more people started talking to me in a good way. I feel like back then I was like an awkward, like antisocial kid because I couldn't be who I was. I feel like coming out actually gave me more friends, and I think that's a little weird to say, but I think it's true. This is how many years ago? I graduated 2 years ago, so about 10th, 11th, 12th. 5 years ago I came out, when I was around 15 or 14. Now I'm 19. It feels so good to finally just like be who I am, and people who know me know that I'm funny, that I like to mess around, that I'm a jokester. I think people get to see the real Anthony now. It makes me happy, and I just want to give advice to people who are bisexual or gay and they're in the closet. My advice to you is, you know, don't rush into things. Like, only you know when you're ready to come out. And I promise you, no matter what happens, no matter how much negativity you get, you know, in the end, it is so worth it. In the end, it's all worth coming out and being who you truly are and who you are meant to be. Don't hurry into things. Like, only you will know when you're ready. Whether it's if you meet a guy somewhere or a girl, if you're lesbian, if you meet a girl or a guy and you guys hit it off and you start dating them, and a few months from when you're dating them, you want to come out publicly to your parents or to your family or to your friends. You don't want to live a life where you aren't who you are, if that makes sense. Like, it's worth coming out, and it may not seem like it at first with all the negativity that you can get from your family and friends, but I promise you that it does get better. I couldn't be more happier with myself coming out and having the courage to finally come out and be who I want to be, because I think it matters in life. And now I'm in a relationship with someone. I'm the happiest I've ever been. Just don't rush into things when you want to come out. You know when you're ready. Before I finish things off, there's plenty of donuts that I haven't ate. I don't know what this one is. Chocolate. And this is like the natural, there's like sprinkles on it. But this is a natural glazed. Who's a fan of these? It's okay. And I know to some of you guys, like, it's against you guys' religion and all that stuff, but how I think of it is like, you were meant to be on this earth for a reason, and if you can't be who you really truly, like, deep down are, then what's the meaning of life? Like, especially religion nowadays, like, you shouldn't hide who you want to be just because it's against your religion. I don't know. I just have a lot of opinion on that, and I don't want to get to that because this is technically my story, and that's pretty much it. My dad, he totally is super okay with me having a boyfriend right now, and he's known him for a long time now. He actually likes him. He thinks that he's very, like, successful and super smart. He's a good guy. It's just crazy to me that, like, this is just proof for all of you who are in the closet, like, things do get better, and, like, people do change. Like, my dad was super against me being gay at first and all that, and I think it just honestly just takes time. It honestly does. I think that my dad has came a long way. Obviously, me and Alex are, like, with my dad or my mom or, like, with family. Obviously, we're not, like, all up in each other's business, like, giving, like, kisses, like, left and right, like, holding hands. No, none of that. Like, I have respect for my dad. Obviously, deep down, it is, like, hard for him to see that, like, I'm, like, kissing another guy or hugging another guy or with another guy, basically. So I give him that respect. I don't go over boundaries. You know, like, there's a limit, and obviously my dad is okay with me being gay now, but I'm not gonna, like, put it out there. Does that make sense? I'm not disrespectful, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's making sense, but you know what? Moral of the story, guys, I'm gay, and I do not care. Okay. That was good, huh? Anyways, that was super cheesy. But I guess that's the end of my story. Thumbs up, like, subscribe if you haven't already. Comment what you think of this video and give me some ideas for next video. Wrapping this up with my favorite donut of the day, the red velvet. And secondly, it'd probably have to be this, what is it, Fruity Pebbles one? Super good. Anyways, love you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.